Good evening. Let's see what Ruckman had to say about Abraham's bosom in his work on Luke here. Abraham was the father of the Jewish people. This is page 531. So in the Old Testament, when a saved, what? Saved. A saved Jew died. Then he went where his father was. And it was not just saved Jews, it was also saved Gentiles as well. See, Ruckman just didn't understand what our breaker understands. See, now the new thing is, let's throw out the works just so they weren't saved. And it was not just saved Jews, but saved Gentiles as well, because Abraham received the imputed righteousness of God when he was uncircumcised Gentile. That's what he considered being salvation. He also was justified. God can't see his own righteousness and not justify it. What was done in Acts chapter James 2 was his growth and showed his maturity and his justification for men. Imputed righteousness of God when he was uncircumcised Gentile. Let's see here. So, okay. Abraham's bosom is downstairs in the heart of earth, Matthew 12:40. It is where Christ's soul went when he was buried to bring up the Old Testament saints. Saints. Not semi-saints or possible saints. No, saints. The Old Testament saints. At his resurrection. Jesus courted paradise before his death. And today paradise is upstairs. The rich man of Sodom was buried and hell lifted up being in torments. So, there you go. There's Ruckman contradicting Grady, Breaker, Sluter. Who knows who else has come up with this nonsense now? Old Testament saints weren't saved. Luke 16. Saved Jews went there. Saved Gentiles went there. It's because Abraham was bosom, because Abraham was saved. He was the father of Jews. So I just want to put that to show you that. And these guys will lie and lie and lie. Look, how does someone get in Abraham's bosom unless they're saved? He's going to show you all the verses. I'm going to show you all the verses. I'm not going to hide anything. What you're hiding from is the fact that you're nuts. This is what happens when you start moving, you're shifting away from the attributes of God. You become crazy, and say that people in Abraham's bosom weren't saved by faith, without works, because they know they can't save by works. That's why they're stuck now. So now I say, well, yeah, well, they won't be saved then. The blood had to be, the blood was applied to them on credit, but it had to be actually shed and actually applied. The sins actually had to be paid for until they were redeemed, but they were covered. And so they were saved people, regenerated, so they received regeneration, imputation, justification, salvation. Ruckman is very clever. He'll say, Old Testament salvation isn't the same, as New Testament salvation. And then he'll put the word identical in there. No one ever said it was identical. These shifty words, they use words to shift. I'm reading that from his work on his Reference Bible. Old Testament salvation and New Testament salvation were similar. No one says they were the same. No one says they were identical. He says it for fourth premise. But he knows how to word the words. And that's what Breaker would do to you. And Sluter would do to you. And Grady. All these guys. They word the words so it sounds right. No one says they were identical. We know different things happen in the New Testament. But they were saved. And they were saved on credit. And the Lord went down there and took captivity captive. Those are saved people he took out of Abraham's bosom. You want to believe that nut Breaker? That's what he is. He's a nut now. Anybody who says Old Testament saints weren't saved in the Old Testament is a lunatic. They've gone into the lunatic stage. So here's Ruckman. Breaker's going against Ruckman. Sluter's going against Ruckman. Grady's going against Ruckman. They were saved people. Saved Jews and saved Gentiles. That's how they got into Abraham's bosom. Amen. Thank you.